Hi children, good morning all. Children, in our last class, I have discussed with you about the various constituents of nutrients such as carbohydrate, proteins, fat, vitamins and minerals, right? Okay, and today I am going to start from a table which I left in my last session. The table consists of various dietary resources of major foodstuffs and about types of vitamins and its resources, deficiency order disorders and symptoms. Same way for minerals also. Okay, so let's start from the dietary sources of major foodstuffs. The major dietary sources are carbohydrates, protein and fat. The carbohydrates are present more in honey, sugarcane, fruits, whole grains, starchy vegetables and rice. And its daily requirements is 150 to 200 grams. About proteins, proteins are present more in legumes, pulses, nuts, soybean, green leafy vegetables, fish, poultry product, egg, milk and dairy products, and its daily requirement is 40 grams. Then fat, which are present more in egg yolk, saturated oil, meat, and its daily requirement is 35 grams. Next we will see about the types of vitamins, its dietary sources, deficiency symptoms and disorders. Okay. So vitamins we can classify into two major categories. One is fat soluble vitamins, another one is water soluble vitamins. The fat soluble vitamins commonly called as ADEK, that is ADEK, commonly called as ADEK, ADEK, ADEK. Vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, vitamin K are called fat soluble vitamins. That means it can soluble only in the fat, it will not be soluble in water. So vitamin A we'll see. It is commonly called as retinol and its dietary resources is carrot, papaya, leafy vegetables, fish liver oil, egg yolk, liver, dairy products. And its deficiency disorder, xerophthalmia, nyctalopia otherwise called as night blindness. And the symptoms are dryness of cornea, unable to see in the night, that is in the dim light, scaly skin. Then vitamin D, it is commonly called calciferol, egg, liver, dairy product, fish synthesized by the skin in sunlight. So these are the dietary sources of vitamin D. Egg, liver, dairy product and fish are the dietary source of vitamin D. And our skin itself can prepare the or synthesize the vitamin D when we expose to the sunlight. And its deficiency disorder is rickets in children, and another one thing is osteomalacia in adult. That is not given in our book, it's given only for children. Rickets in children is a deficiency disorder of vitamin D, and the symptoms of this disease are bow legs, defective ribs, development of pigeon's chest. So these are the symptoms of rickets. Next we'll see about vitamin E. It is commonly called as tocopherol. Whole wheat, meat, vegetable oil, milk are the dietary source of vitamin E, and its deficiency disorder is sterility in rats, reproductive abnormalities. Sterility is its symptom. Then vitamin K, it's a derivative of quinone, and its dietary resources are leafy vegetables, soybeans, milk. And its deficiency disorder is blood clotting is prevented. Then what are the symptoms? Excessive bleeding due to delayed blood clotting. Okay. Next, water soluble vitamins. Some of vitamins can be soluble in water. That's what we will advise the cookers to wash the vegetable before cutting. When after cutting, if you wash the vegetables or fruits, what happened? The water soluble vitamins are dissolved in the water itself, so it leads to deficiency of water soluble vitamins in our body. So water soluble vitamins are only two things. B and C are called water soluble vitamins, and vitamin B is called as a B complex because it consists of many subgroups of vitamin B. Vitamin B1, B2, B3, B6, B12, like that. So many types of vitamin B are there. So let's see with the vitamin B1. It is commonly called as thiamine. Its dietary resources are whole grains, yeast, eggs, liver, sprouted pulses, and it is present more in whole grains, yeast, eggs, liver, and sprouted pulses, and its deficiency disorder is beriberi. And symptoms are degenerative changes in the nerves, muscles. Muscles become weak, paralysis. Next, vitamin B12, B2, riboflavin. It is present more in milk, eggs, liver, green vegetables, whole grains. And its deficiency disease is erythroflavinosis, that is cirrhosis is the deficiency disease of vitamin B2. And the symptoms are irritation in eyes, dry skin, inflammation of lips, fissures in the corners of the mouth. And vitamin B3, it is commonly called as niacin. Its dietary resources are milk, eggs, liver, lean meat, groundnuts, brain, etc. And the deficiency disease of vitamin B3 is pellagra. Symptoms of inflammation of skin, loss of memory, diarrhea. Then vitamin B6, pyridoxine, commonly it is called as, and it is present more in meat, fish, eggs, germs of grains and cereals, rice polishings. And the deficiency symptoms of vitamin B6 is dermatitis, and the symptoms are scaly skin, nervous disorder. Then vitamin B12, cyanocobalamin. It's present more in milk, meat, liver, pulses, cereals, and fishes. And the deficiency disease of this B12 is pernicious anemia, and the symptoms are decrease in red blood cell production, degeneration of spinal cord. And vitamin C, ascorbic acid, and leafy vegetables, sprouts, citrus fruits like gooseberry, lemon, orange, or the various nutrient sources rich in vitamin C. And the deficiency disease is scurvy, and symptoms are swollen and bleeding gums, delay in healing of wounds, teeth and bones malformed. So these are the various types of vitamins, its sources, dietary sources, deficient disorder and its symptoms. Next we are going to see about minerals, dietary sources, functions, deficiency disorders. We are going to see minerals, sources. First we'll see the minerals are classified into two types, macronutrients and micronutrients. Already I said in my last session. Macronutrients, the minerals which are necessary for large amount or large quantity to our body are called macronutrients. Which are necessary for very small quantities for our body is called micronutrients. Okay, macronutrients, calcium, sodium, potassium are called macronutrient. Calcium, dairy products, beans, cabbage, eggs, fish are rich in calcium, and its functions are conservance of bones and enamel of teeth, clotting of blood, and controls muscle contraction. Then deficiency disorders are bone deformities, poor skeletal growth, osteoporosis in adults. So these are the deficiency disorders of calcium. Next one is sodium. It's a common salt or rich in sodium, maintains fluid balance and involved in neurotransmission. Then muscular scams, nerve impulses do not get transmitted. Potassium, potassium are rich in banana, sweet potato, nuts, whole grains, citrus fruits, and its functions are regulates nerve and muscle activity. Its deficiency disorders are muscle fatigue, nerve impulses do not get transmitted. Then let's see with micronutrients. Iron, iodine are some of the example for micronutrients. Ions are rich in spinach, dates, greens, broccoli, whole cereals, nuts, fish and liver are rich in iron, and its important function is conduction, important component of hemoglobin, and its deficiency disorder is anemia. And iodine is a milk, iodine is present more in milk, seafood, iodized salt, and its function is formation of thyroid hormone. Its deficiency disease is goiter. So these are the various disorders of what? Minerals and vitamins. So far we have discussed, and now we are going to start with a new topic, food hygiene. Food hygiene, about it you know very well, children. Poor personal hygiene may allow pathogenic microorganisms to cause food spoilage. Food spoilage is an undesirable change in the normal state of food and is not suitable for human consumption. What is mean by food spoilage? Is an undesirable change in the normal state of food and is not suitable for human consumption. Signs of food spoilage. What are the signs of food spoilage? Include changes in appearance, color, texture, odor and taste. So with that we can find out the spoilage of food. When the foods are getting spoiled, what happened? Its colors are changed, taste changed, odors changed, flavor changed, all. And what are the various factors are responsible for the spoilage of food? The two main factors are internal factors and external factors. The internal factors include enzymatic activities and moisture content of the food. Then external factors, okay, next, sorry children, some inconvenient in between that. External factors, it include adulterants in food, contaminated utensils and equipments, unhygienic cooking area and lack of storage facilities. So these are the various external factors which cause spoilage of food. Next one is food preservation. Food preservation is the process of prevention of food from decay or spoilage by storing in a condition fit for future use. Food is preserved to increase the shelf life of food, retain the color, texture, flavor and nutritive value, increase food supply, decrease wastage of food. These are the various concepts to preserve the food. Methods of food preservation. The various methods of food preservation are drying, smoking, irradiation, cold storage, freezing, pasteurization and canning. These are the various methods of food preservation. Let's see with drying. Drying is the process of preservation of food by removal of water and moisture content in the food. It can be done either by sun drying, example cereals, fish, or vacuum drying, example milk powder, cheese powder, or hot air drying, example grapes, dry fruits, potato flakes. Drying inhibits the growth of microorganisms such as bacteria, yeast and molds. Okay, so drying means what? Actually dehydration of water, that is removal of water from the foodstuffs is by making by doing drying process. The drying are various method. First one is sun drying, another one is vacuum drying, another one is hot air drying. So example for sun drying substance are cereals and fish. Vacuum drying substance milk powder, cheese powder. Hot air drying example grapes, dry fruits, potato flakes. Drying inhibits the growth of microorganisms such as bacteria, yeast and molds. Next one is smoking. In this process, food product like meat and fish are exposed to smoke. The drying action of the smoke tends to preserve the food. So in smoking process, food products like meat and fish are exposed to smoke. So the drying action of the smoke tends to preserve the food. Next, irradiation. Food irradiation is the process of exposing food to optimum level of ionizing radiation like X-rays, gamma rays, ultraviolet rays, which kill the harmful bacteria and pests, and hence the harmful bacteria and pests are killed in the food substance. It is preserved from its spoilage. Next one is cold storage. It is a process of storing the perishable foods such as vegetable, fruits and fruit products, milk and milk product, etc. at low temperature. Preserving the food product at low temperature slows down the biological and chemical reaction and prevents its spoilage. So we know very well in our home we are keeping the things such as fruits, vegetables, milk and milk product in the refrigerator. It is called what? Cold storage. This cold storage avoid the spoilage of food. And freezing. Freezing is one of the widely used method of food preservation. The process involves storing the food below 0 degrees Celsius, at which microorganisms cannot grow. Chemical reaction are reduced and metabolic reaction are also delayed. So next is freezing. Actually there is a difference between cold storage and freezing. In cold storage we will keep the things in refrigerator in low temperature. But in freezing what happened? The things are preserved below 0 degrees Celsius, that is in minus degree Celsius. Below 0 degrees Celsius is not suitable for the growth of microorganism and also the chemical reaction, metabolic action of the microbes. Hence the growth of microbes delayed in this 0 degree Celsius and it prevent the spoilage of food. Next, pasteurization. Pasteurization is a process of heat treatment of liquid food product. Example, for preservation of milk and beverages. This process also involves boiling of milk to a temperature of 63 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes and suddenly cooling to destroy the microbes present in the milk. Okay. So, pasteurization is a process of the heat treatment of liquid food products for preservation of milk and beverages. This process also involves boiling of milk to temperature of 63 degrees Celsius for about 30 minutes first, and immediately we have to cool the milk to destroy the microbes present in the milk. Next one is canning. In this method of food preservation, most vegetables, fruits, meat and dairy products, fruit juices and some ready to eat foods are processed and stored in a clean steamed airtight containers under pressure and then sealed. It is then subjected to high temperature and cooled to destroy all microbes. This is what canning. So the canned food, we are using many canned foodstuffs nowadays, children. In canning method, most vegetables, fruits, meat and dairy products, fruit juices and some ready to eat foodstuffs are processed first and stored in a clean steamed airtight containers under pressure and then sealed. It is then subjected to high temperature and cooled to destroy all microbes. So these are the various methods of preservative methods for food preservation. Okay, children, and you will get it as 7-mark question. Explain the various process involved in food preservation. This is a 7-mark question, children. You can bracket it, and this is the homework for you today. And children, as I said already, coming Saturday evening you will have a biology test, and portion I will send in the group, and the PDF of that lesson question answer, sorry, PDF of that lesson question answer also I will send in group tomorrow, children. So make thorough the portion and perform your test well. Okay, children. So I'll wind up the class with this and I'll get you in my next class, children. Bye. Prepare for your test.